Previously on the Master Rainy channel. This topic in the video is about this dead serious situation that's going on right now. It's about coronavirus, also known as COVID-19. We are living in a pandemic right now. This ain't good. Symptoms of coronavirus can include fever, coughs, and shortness of breath. They may appear 2 to 14 days after exposure. This is what I saw. No kidding. Restaurants, bars, and wineries have also been closing because they need to get sanitized. But hey, we are working hard to bring down the coronavirus to its defeat. Take precautions, people. There's absolutely no need to panic. Caution, yes. Panic, no. I will see you next time on the 38th video on the Master Rainy channel.
Keep in mind, people, I have discovered past influenza pandemics. Found out the PSI, Pandemic Severity Index, for this pandemic is just at level 1. The worst pandemic ever was the 1918 pandemic, also known as Spanish flu pandemic, because of its PSI at level 5, killing 50 million people from January 1918 to December 1920. See, people? That's why you should all stay positive during this pandemic. It's not as bad as the Spanish flu 1918 pandemic.
So I did my research last week about other pandemics in history. I found on Wikipedia that the Spanish flu had a higher PSI than the coronavirus. Well, I am going to explain how deadly the Spanish flu was and what impacts were put on Earth. This began during World War I in 1918. Mortality was high to children 5 and under, adults between 20 to 40, and the elderly 65 and over. That, according to CDC, the high mortality of healthy people, especially those in the mentioned age groups, was quite an odd feature of the 1918 pandemic. This was caused by an H1N1 virus from birds. In 2003, historian Alfred W. Crosby stated that the Spanish flu originated in Kansas. John M. Barry described that pandemic in Haskell County in Kansas as the origin in his 2004 article. According to biology professor Michael Warraby in 2018, evidence was found against the origin in Kansas because the cases weren't that severe and not that many people died compared to the situation in New York City at the time. So it wasn't the Kansas flu that infected a third of the world's population. This flu has infected 500 million to likely 1 billion people, killed in between 20 to 50 million people, and went on for 35 months from January 1918 to December 1920. That was approximately 1/3 of the world's population at the time, since there were 1.8 billion people on the planet during that pandemic. Devastation went on during this pandemic. It was so devastating that even in low mortality areas, numerous adults were debilitated that much of everyday life was obstructed. Some communities shut down all the stores or had customers leave out their orders. Reports have shown that healthcare workers couldn't take care of the sick and grave diggers couldn't bury the dead because of the illness. So during this time, the rates went up on physical disability, lower salary and socioeconomic status, and less educational success. Infected people with the Spanish flu coughing or sneezing spread over 500,000 virus particles to people close to them. Let's look at the map here. In Japan, 23 million people got infected with the flu and 390,000 of them died because of it. In the USA, deaths range in between 500,000 to 675,000. In Brazil, 300,000 deaths. In Iran, 902,400 to 2,431,000 deaths. In the UK, 250,000 deaths. In France, 400,000 deaths. In Canada, 50,000 deaths. In Ghana, 100,000 deaths. This flu has spread worldwide and killed as much as 50 million people. To learn more about the Spanish flu, head on over to the link. It's in the description below. Also, check out the coronavirus video if you were confused by that at the beginning of this video or if you haven't watched it. Thank you for watching. To see more videos, click the subscribe button and hit the notifications button to get notified about the latest videos uploaded on the Master Rainy channel. I will eventually release the 39th video on the Master Rainy channel, and I will see you there. This is Master Rainy, now signing off.